So today I wanted to share with you just our dinner that my husband and I are eating. After a long day at work, I usually do not like to come home and cook. So I'm always in search of fast, healthy, easy meals to cook. We're making a concerted effort this year to eat out less and to make our own meals at home. So here we go. So for dinner today, I made spaghetti with tomato sauce, and I added a few additional ingredients other than what was included in the bottle, and I'll explain that throughout the video today. And I also made roasted Brussels sprouts, and the recipe that I used was from the Food Network, and I'll include the details for the roasted Brussels sprouts at the bottom bar below. So the first thing that we'll make are the Brussels sprouts, and before I get started cleaning the Brussels sprouts, I like to preheat my oven to 400 degrees. And by the time you're done cleaning the Brussels sprouts, you'll be ready to put them in the oven. But if you preheat after you clean, then you'll have to wait a little longer. Now onto the Brussels sprouts. I like to cut the stems off and cut them in half, and then you'll just wash them thoroughly. And once the Brussels sprouts are all cleaned, you can incorporate the olive oil. Sometimes I add a little bit more than the recipe calls for, and that's okay because you can always take some off later before you transfer them over. And make sure you mix the olive oil thoroughly with all the Brussels sprouts. And here are the Brussels sprouts spread across the pan, the baking sheet that I have, and now you'll sprinkle some salt over them. The oven is preheated to 400 degrees, and we'll set the timer for 35 minutes, and that's how long we'll cook the Brussels sprouts for. And just pop them into the oven. For the tomato sauce, you'll need bacon, garlic, a bell pepper, a tomato, and here is my mise en place with my bacon, my peppers, my garlic and onions, and tomatoes. I'm also using a store-bought tomato-based sauce. So into a pan, I added some olive oil and I incorporated the bacon, and I'll just let that cook through. I'm using my Le Creuset pot, which I absolutely love because it just doesn't burn and it's so easy to clean. And once the bacon is crackling, I'll incorporate my onions and garlic and let that cook through until it's translucent. Have cooked through, I'll incorporate the red bell pepper that I have, and the bell pepper just adds a sweetness to the tomato sauce that I really enjoy. Finally, we can incorporate the tomato sauce that we have from this store, and last but not least, the tomatoes. Oh, and don't forget the spaghetti pasta. And by the time the noodles are done, your Brussels sprouts should be out of the oven and dinner is served. I always like to have a glass of wine with my dinner, but that's just me.